Hello, everyone. Now, I will introduce to you how to upgrade the firmware of HUCEEN E7-200 Smart CPU. The latest firmware version of E7-200 Smart CPU is V0 1.05.11. If the CPU firmware is version V0.04.10, it can be upgraded to version V0 1.05.11 through firmware upgrade. The upgrade method can be carried out through online upgrade using programming software or through TF card. The files used for the two upgrade methods are different. The way to query the firmware version of the CPU can be determined by monitoring the values in the system storage of SMW2542. For example, if the value of monitoring SMW2542 is 16#0410, it indicates that the firmware of this CPU is version V0.04.10. First, use the programming software to connect to the CPU. Then, open the PLC option in the menu bar. Click the PLC button in the information column to open the PLC information dialog box. Click the firmware update button below. In the firmware update window that pops up, select the online update firmware file. Then click the Update button to wait for the update to complete. After the update is finished, repower on the CPU and connect it to the CPU again. Then check the value of SMW2542 to see if it becomes 16#0511. If so, it indicates that the upgrade has been successful. First, copy the upgrade file to an empty TF card. Then, without power supply, insert the TF card into the slot of the CPU. After completion, reconnect the power supply. The CPU will update the firmware. At this time, the run indicator light will flash green. When the stop indicator light flashes red, it indicates that the firmware upgrade is complete. At this point, you can disconnect the power supply and remove the TF card. Then, check in the software whether the value of SMW2542 is 16#0511. If it is 16#0511, it means the firmware upgrade was successful. The above is an introduction to the firmware upgrade of the HUCEEN E7-200 Smart CPU. Thank you all for watching.